Here's a breakdown of the unsold showroom traffic call guide. Remember, it is a guide and not a script. And if the buyer gives you the appointment, take the appointment. Don't go through the entire call guide just for the sake of doing it. Number 1, start the deal fresh. Hi buyer, thank you for taking my call. The reason I'm calling you is I just want to thank you for coming in yesterday. I really appreciate it. And then just pause. This will give the buyer a chance to talk. If they have any questions or objections that are on the tip of their tongue, if they bought a vehicle, they can tell you here. Next, you could ask if they had any unanswered questions. I also wanted to know if you had any unanswered questions. Again, give them a chance to talk. Give them a chance to go through things. A lot of times they will say no. Most of the time they're going to say no. If they ask you a question, answer it in the best way that moves you to the next step of the call guide and closer to the appointment. The next question, how did you like the vehicle? Why would you want to ask them this? Usually they're going to say something positive. How did you like the vehicle? Well, I liked it a lot. Oh great, what'd you like about it? And they could go through the hot buttons. If there is a negative though, this also gives them the chance to tell you. Oh, I didn't like it very much. Oh, what didn't you like? Next question. What are you comparing the vehicle against? Why would we want to know this? The reason why is because if they're looking at a new vehicle, if they're shopping new to new, you want to know that information. If they're shopping new to used to used, the more information you have, the better. If I'm doing a seminar and there's a whole bunch of people in the room, especially people that haven't seen me before, and I say, we want to ask what they're comparing it to. This is the part of the call guide that some people don't like. Maybe a hand will go up, well, I don't want them thinking about the competition. Remember, this is a customer that left. They were here last night and you're calling them this morning. You want to know the reason that they left, and sometimes the reason they tell you in person is different than when you call. Find out what they're comparing it to. Maybe you have the vehicle they're considering. And if they're not comparing it to anything else, congratulations. Now you want to move towards the close. And I'm going to talk about the most popular close in automotive, the one thing close. Buyer, if there was one thing that was stopping you from moving forward on the vehicle that we drove last night, what would that one thing be? And then give the buyer a chance to talk. Well, it was the price. Well, it was the payment. Well, it was the anything. Now, you have a couple different options here. Number 1, you could set the appointment when applicable. Number 2, you could take this to a manager. If the buyer tells you it's because of the price and you were unable to set the appointment, you could take this information to a manager. Hey manager, I just called the customer from last night. Give me a fist bump. They said they would buy the vehicle, it's just the price is too high. They'll come in and buy it right now though, and you just work it like a car deal. One thing is a very popular close because it is so effective, and chances are you will either have the appointment or you have something to talk to a manager about. The next close is the main thing, a variation on the one thing. Buyer, what's the main thing holding you back right now? What is it? Find out what it is, set the appointment, or take it to a manager. Last but not least, the vehicle or the money close. Buyer, the reason you're deciding to hold off, is it because you're not sure this is the vehicle you want, or does it have something to do with the money? If they say vehicle, well, I'm just not sure it's the car that I want. Oh, okay, well thank you for sharing that with me. What would you suggest? What vehicle do you want? And now you're back in the game. If they say the money, don't assume that it is just about the money. You don't know what part of the money it is. And when I say don't assume it's just about the money, don't assume it's just about the selling price. Ask them this. Okay, it's the money, I got you. When you're saying the money, is it the price, the payment, the down payment? What we gave for your car, the interest rate? What part of it don't you like? Money can mean different things. You could use these closes in tandem with each other, or you could use them standalone. You don't necessarily need to hit all three though. Remember, we're just trying for the appointment. Once you get the appointment, or you get the one thing, the main thing, you know what's holding the buyer back, consider that a win. Goal number 1 is the appointment. The secondary goal though is knowing exactly what it takes to do business today. It is just a car deal, And you can work it just as you would on the showroom floor. You get the appointment, congratulations. You don't get the appointment, take the information to a sales manager to collaborate and game plan.